Fact that I can't speak to you in deep detail about what was covered in the council meeting or any council meeting for that matter. I can tell you that our central focus is the Atlantis island that we refer to as Dessalines and the Gulf of the Amexem, because we're now in the hurricane season for that particular area of the empire. And since the infrastructure is so frail in the Dessalines, some progress has been made, and we're concerned about the effect of even a moderate strength hurricane wave could do to upset the progress being made in Dessalines. And now with the two relief wells being drilled in the Gulf of the Amexem, if you happen to have even the tropical depression, that's enough to pull everyone that's working on the rigs, as well as the other 3,800 rigs in the Gulf of the Amexem for oil and natural gas, off those rigs to safety, which basically means that we'll stop work on the relief wells, which means there's just more and more oil gushing into the Gulf of the Amexem. So, and of course, they have been siphoning some of that oil into sea vessels. I'm not sure if they're Panamax size or smaller, like an H size. Don't know. I doubt they have Cape-sized vessels over there to siphon the water and oil into. If they do, that would be great. They had several of them that can get more of the oil out of the water. That would make more sense to me. But when folks are dealing with superior force of arms and think they know every daggone thing, this is the mess that we're in, as the other houses of Moors have been silent, have not stepped up. And we all have to do this thing because this is our land, these are our territorial waters, we're responsible. I don't care about folks in the superior force of arms. We got to clean this mess up because it's going to be on our children's head. And so we have to protect our children. It's our duty, obligation, and responsibility. In that regard, I say to you that we have been looking at the effects of what this particular hurricane season could wrought upon the ship that, or ships that siphoning off some of that escaping oil. Since, for those who don't know, when you do relief wells, you have a 1 in 5 shot, basically, at success. So you have to build multiple relief wells and hope for the best, as they say, under the current technology. That said, folks are giving the optimistic view that this whole thing in terms of the oil spilling out will be done and over with by so-called August. If it can be done before that, great, and I'm grateful. If the first well is not successful, though, then you're looking at, in the worst case scenario, so-called December on the Roman calendar. And since we already have about 23 to 24 million gallons of oil in the Gulf of the Amexem, I don't even want to imagine what the number is in terms of how many millions of gallons, or potentially several 100 million barrels of oil that could end up in the Gulf of the Amexem, and the currents that will take the oil slick and what's underneath the undercurrent over towards Garifuna, and even towards the Amexem-Empire Sector 4, Alkebu-lan, Old Amexem. This can go a lot of ways, and so the Minister for the Land Management, Minister for the Interior, Minister for the Journey, Travel, and Transport, Minister for Health and Fire Therapy, looking at quite a few things here. Been reading till my eyes bleed. And it's a wealth of information about what they're cutting, why they're cutting it. We're looking at various situations regarding topsoil. We have to make a determination. So the Minister for the Land Management already started to look into what is the effect of having all that benzene, all of that oil. 40% of that oil, according to the Health Minister, is evaporating out of the Gulf of the Amexem, and it's coming down in rain and other means. Particles just blowing everywhere, getting into our folks' lungs and all type of carrying on. As we discussed that already, how to deal with it. We're on top of that already. What we're looking at now is what is the effect so far, and what can we extrapolate from that, or at least matriculate out to see what the effects could evolve into in terms of having all that oil in the water, in the topsoil, in the air. What does that mean for the health of our babies? So we can protect them. Because that is our duty, obligation, and responsibility, first and foremost, irrespective of other folks and their hostile agendas. Totally don't care about what they're up to. It's about what we got to do to take care of our babies. So, on my watch, my imperial government, we are on that. The other houses of Moors, they have to figure out sooner or later that no one's an island. We all got to work together. They got to cut the crap, and we got to sit down and work a few things out. Because you can't say, Moors can't say, this is our land, these are our territories, our territorial waters, and not be responsible for them. I can't speak for them. On my watch, this house of Moors, the Amexem-Moor-Empire, my national collective, we are on top of this. We are being responsible for this land issue and the lives of all of our folks that inhabit this land. So, folks can talk about it or be about it. My motto has been and shall always be, shut up and consistently do. And I look forward to hearing from folks who decide to wake up and get their butts in gear so we can protect our babies. This is not someone else's problem to fix. This is our problem. This is our responsibility. This is our land. We have to act like it's our land.